So the next thing we're going to talk about is their tactical comparison. We're going to do a tactical comparison between all the recon characters. We're going to start with Valk again. So grapple versus missile swarm. These are two different things, and like I mentioned before, Valk's passive allows her to reposition, which is Pathfinder's tactical. And I think that should just be enough. I don't think I need to really explain too much about that. So how I plan to explain, how I plan to compare them is on a situation where someone is low. Let's say one of your teammates does 120 damage to a Gib or someone, and they don't have bubble. Pathfinder, in order to make some type of gain or assistance out of that, he has to grapple, which forces him to hard commit to a kill. Whether someone is like running or hiding, like if he wants to be aggressive, he has to hard commit. Versus with Valk, if depending on where you're fighting at, she doesn't have to hard commit to shoot missiles. She can literally boost up. That's your opportunity to damage. She can kind of see where a person is, and then she can, when she lands, she can shoot her missiles. But her missiles do damage, which can possibly kill someone if they are low enough without putting herself in a position to die or hard committing to an area to capitalize off of it. And in most situations, hard committing with grapple will probably can get you killed, and there are better characters for doing that. If you have someone that's low and you really need a fragger to come get that kill, Octane can do that job so much better without hard committing. Like, he can sprint over there really really quick. His stem is on a way shorter cooldown than grapple. You can send in a wraith, because if she were to take damage, she could Q out and leave. So for Pathfinder, as far as like his tactical versus Valk, the reason why I believe that Valk's can be better is because she doesn't have to expose herself to damage. And if Path were to grapple onto someone to try to get a kill, he's hard committing and also cutting himself away from the team. So if something were to happen, he could end up being killed. Now let's go to Pathfinder versus Crypto. So this one, I mean, this one is kind of like a 50-50 to me again. I feel like two different things. Crypto, he doesn't have to be in the fight to get information. Pathfinder does have to be in the fight, and he also has to communicate using pings or comms. So he's kind of forced in that situation you have to be in a good spot as Pathfinder in order to have value for your team. Versus Crypto, I mean, even if you are hiding somewhere and you're not in the fight, you could be getting information to allow your team to reposition to the best spot without putting yourself at risk to be damaged. The biggest downside of being in drone is that if your teammates leave you and someone rolls up on you, you're probably not going to know. You're just going to get beamed. And that can suck, but how often does that happen? I don't know. Maybe if you have, bad teammates that are just inting on someone just because you sent out drones, so now you're late to the fight. That could be a problem. But when it comes to being a recon character, Crypto has the advantage because he can, again, provide value without risking himself. Versus for Pathfinder, there's always a high risk, high reward. It's high risk, high reward, but also if if you go down or something happens, like you literally just become like nothing. You're just like a blob of nothing to your team because you might grapple somewhere and then you just get beamed and now you have no value. You didn't do anything. Versus if Crypto were to send his drone somewhere and his drone gets destroyed, at least you picked up where the people are and you can see some type of information of who destroyed it. Yeah, your drone is now on a 40-second cooldown, but you have an understanding of where the team is and it didn't cost you your life. It didn't cost you to get knocked down. There's not an advantage that is being taken on. Your team doesn't have to take a disadvantage now because one of your players are not. So for Path and Bloodhound, this is just an easy dub for Bloodhound as far as tactical ability because Bloodhound scan is free. I'll probably do a separate video. I will do a separate video just talking about the Bloodhound's utility. I don't really like him as a character. It's pretty, you get easy instant value from Bloodhound. And to continue from that same theme, to get information as Pathfinder, you have to put yourself at risk to get that information. Granted, the risk that Bloodhound takes to get information is that people will be notified that they've been scanned, or you can see where a scan is coming from. But because it can go through buildings, it doesn't necessarily pinpoint exactly where Bloodhound is. So you get way more utility with way less risk. So you can scan through structures and you're just giving your teammate info. And again, like if I'm playing Bloodhound, if I scan, my teammates see it. I don't have to be on comms to tell them where people are. Versus with Pathfinder, if a team is like spread across like 2 or 3 rocks, I have to ping in each location if I'm not on comms to tell my teammates where they are. And even then, pinging is not as specific as a scan. Like, oh, if I scan, I see that this caustic is on the left side with a trap next to him, versus me just pinging as a Pathfinder with no comms. And now my teammate rushes over there to the caustic and he has like a barrel over there and they get hit by the barrel, and now it's a possible chance that they're at a disadvantage. So Bloodhound, his tactical is free. It's not going to get a kill for you. It's not going to reposition you, which is the advantage of grapple. Like if you're in a oh shit situation, grapple can save you potentially, and a scan won't do anything besides waste your time when you're trying to reposition. So though that's possibly an advantage, but normally a Bloodhound's going to scan into the fight so they have more information, so they're not in a oh shit moment compared to Path. If I run around a corner and I didn't scan and there's 5 people, or not 5 people but a full team, I have to just immediately grapple out, it's not wasting, I have to immediately reposition and go on a cooldown, and hopefully I don't get beamed while I'm grappling out.